Hi, Embracer Group here with another regular check-in on everything we just bought. Let's see, we just bought Limited Run Games, Tripwire Interactive, apparently all of Middle-earth, Tuxedo Labs, something we can't tell you about for commercial reasons, Singtrix, which is a company that makes karaoke machines. If you think you can escape our grasp, you are mistaken. We will come for you. It is merely a matter of time before you too will become a part of Embracer. Squirm all you want, our firm tendrils are patient. Thank you. Kirby's Dream Buffet is a video game that came out this week. It's the kind of game I'm obviously gonna hate, and did indeed, but it's still ringing in my head long after I've deleted it. So look at it here. This is a strawberry eating contest. Your first impression might be, oh, this is Fall Guys, but with a bunch of Kirbys. You are mistaken. It's much, much worse than Fall Guys because it's maximum 4 Kirbys in a lobby. It's you and 3 other Kirby fans racing around gobbling up strawberries and then killing each other for strawberries in the final round, which mostly trivializes everything that led up to this point. I'm not coming to you surprised that I didn't end up liking this game. I guess what I'm struck by, what I'm taken aback by, is just the feeling of how unceremonious Kirby's Dream Buffet felt. This game was never rumored, it just had a trailer appear one day, July 12th, and then was released this week on August 17th. And apparently the release date wasn't announced until August 11th as part of the Kirby 30th Anniversary Music Festival. But what even is that? What is this? When did this happen? This was last week? This whole thing? All of this for Kirby? Anyway, Kirby Dream Buffet. 1 month of anticipation. $15 US. I feel like everybody who would be interested in this game was made aware of it, and anybody who wouldn't be interested in this game was never bothered by it. It was never an intrusive announcement, but I'm still kind of sad for the game. I'm sad that this game will be a blip. I feel like if it didn't deserve to be remembered as a video game, right? There's no season 2 for Kirby's Dream Buffet. It is just what it is. I feel like maybe it deserved to be remembered as an announcement. It feels like something that should have been in a big E3 style Nintendo Direct. Okay, major sidebar here. You know how when you're a newborn baby out of the womb, you start screaming because there's suddenly so much noise, and then it takes a while for your brain to figure out that most of the noise doesn't deserve to be heard? Just sort out the frequencies, like, oh, these are important frequencies, these ones don't matter. Mama, yes. No. It's wild to me that, as adults now, there are so many stupid noises in our environment that subconsciously, automatically, our brains are choosing not to listen to. And I think about this in terms of everything very often. But in terms of video game news, I feel like this year, I feel like today, it's harder than ever to make news that doesn't get filtered out automatically. Last weekend, THQ had their own special event called THQ Nordic Digital Showcase 2022. I have a challenge for you right now. Try to pay attention to this.
Jagged Alliance 3 combines turn-based tactical combat with strategic, open-style gameplay for both solo or online co-op mayhem. Recruit from a large cast of mercenaries that range from quirky to full-on psychotic, and use them to rescue the president of Grand Chien from a paramilitary force. If you so choose to follow your contract, that is. And that mercenary roster,
I failed. I'm not a newborn baby anymore, THQ. I can't hear you. What are you saying? And this is an especially weird example, because they had these 2 hosts, right? But for each segment, only one host gets to speak for the full 60 seconds, while the other just smiles and nods and sometimes makes a silly face.
You get to play a cute little astronaut who's just bought an entire solar system. And rather cheaply, by the way. At least compared to London. The mission,
they made this thing as uncomfortable as possible. But even still, even if the script was designed for two people to bounce off of each other, even if that patter sizzled, would the THQ Nordic Digital Showcase, would that have been a memorable moment? They did announce a new SpongeBob game, and I feel like that got some traction, and they did save it for this show. And so in some sense, maybe that announcement felt more special and will be more memorable. It's hard to say. I think about Sony's E3 2017. They got a live orchestra, and we thought, oh, this is classy. This is next level. This is a ceremony. And then E3 2018, they have this world-renowned flutist, and it's like, too far. Not this. Too ceremonious. And since then, they don't do any of it anymore. Here's your video. This is Jim Ryan. Here's a CG trailer for God of War Ragnarok with no clapping at the end. And that clapping, I think, is part of what I'm talking about. I think audience noise makes something more memorable to our simple human brains. I think it does. It makes it more of an event. It makes it stick out more as something we should pay attention to. If your favorite streamer is reacting to something, it makes that thing more memorable. Imagine this. Imagine if you have somebody who you watch trailers with and you turn to and you say, isn't this neat? Look at all these Kirby's. Think of how much more memorable that would be. So back to Kirby's Dream Buffet. I'm thinking about this and I'm thinking, honestly, everything probably went according to plan. I think it was intended to be disposable. The game itself feels like a systems test more than a product designed to produce revenue. And man, I can just feel it slipping. It feels like a normal day. You know how you forget most days that you live? Kirby's Dream Buffet feels like it'll just slip through my memory just like a normal day. Kirby's Dream Buffet is a normal lunch. And for some reason, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't want to forget it. Caitlin? Remind me in 1 year not to forget about Kirby's Dream Buffet? Oh, that's right. Caitlin's gone. She wrote me a super long email. Apparently she's like stowed away in the Justice League space station. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. That's delayed input for this week. And if we can get like last minute meta about delayed input, I realize what if, like, is this video a normal day? Is this a normal lunch video? Will you remember? Is it possible to make this video something you would remember? And like, honestly, if it was like top 5 shitty things about the shitty new Kirby game, like that is a more attention grabbing, memorable video. And so at a certain point, it's like, what is deserving of a Nintendo Direct, and when you just make a video where it's you talking? I'm still figuring it out, brother. Thanks for being a part of this, and thanks for watching. So this YouTube video has a provocative title, and if I'm being hardcore honest with you, I don't honestly believe that Kirby's Dream Buffet is the world's most forgettable Kirby game. So it's time to make good on that promise. Let's figure out what actually is the world's most forgettable Kirby game. I've got it narrowed down to these: Kirby Fighters 2, Super Kirby Clash, Kirby's Blowout Blast, Kirby's Star Stacker, and Kirby's Block Ball. Super Kirby Clash is a multiplayer, free-to-play, I think it's everybody versus a boss. It was featured in a Nintendo Direct, so I'm going to knock that one off. Kirby's Star Stacker and Kirby's Block Ball. These two, if you had me write down all of the Kirby games I could think of, there's no way I would remember these. However, they do exist as cartridges. They exist in the physical realm. And I feel like that makes them more memorable than these other two. So we're going to knock those out. We're down to Kirby Fighters 2 and Kirby's Blowout Blast. Kirby Fighters 2, to my knowledge, was never featured in a Nintendo Direct. It just shadow dropped. It was even more of a carefree plop than Dream Buffet. However, Kirby's Blowout Blast, I'm looking at this, and I have no idea what it is. And I'm pretty sure this even was in a Nintendo Direct, and I still don't remember it. What is that?
Breathe in, breathe out. Now take a big breath and blow them away.
Kirby's Blowout Blast, you are the world's most forgettable Kirby game.